All right, it's just about 2 or 3 wheelbarrow loads later. And this is our wheelbarrow, it's just a normal wheelbarrow. I like to throw some cardboard down there so the bricks don't scratch up the metal too badly. It's gonna get beat up and scratched up anyway because it's a work wheelbarrow. But about 2 or 3 wheelbarrow loads later, we've got just about all the bricks. There's a few down in there buried a little bit. You might be able to see them a little more like that. There you go. But this area is already looking a ton better. I'm hoping that I can remove this fencing that is left over. It goes with our fencing over there that you can see. Get my rake out of the way. It goes with our fencing over there. That goes around part of the backyard. And then I've got a lot more of this stuff. It looks like the stuff back here in the back. Oh, this metal work. We've got some maybe hardware cloth and some like more narrow fencing. Can't tell if they had put that around maybe some plants or something. There's an area of our yard. I'm gonna zoom in. I don't know if you can see those bricks that are standing up. The boys did that. That area over there, they had some of this kind of stuff. I think because they had maybe some grapevines or some other food plants, and they're trying to keep the deer out of the way. Earlier, I talked about how this stuff back here, tree line, is not our property. And that cow field back there, just past this fence, just past this majestic oak tree. That thing is an absolute monster. We've got a lot of deer that live back up over there and in here into the woods behind us. So I think the 2 owners ago were really interested in keeping some of the deer out of here. One thing that we've noticed about this house is that it has incredible structure in the yard. There was obviously a lot of care and attention to how everything was put together. There was a lot of work done to keep this place looking really awesome. About 2 owners ago, they had just tons of stuff around us, trees of all kinds, different kinds of flowers, food plants and things like that. And they had all sorts of little gardens tucked around the house, like directly next to the house, the side of the house, and over here in the yard as well. The immediate owners after us, I think there's just a lot of yard for them, and they had maybe had some other things that were priorities. And so the yard, while it doesn't look bad now, it's because we've had about 2 months to work on it. So I'm just now had the idea for doing this kind of stuff here at the end of May. But there's a lot of wild growth. There's some extraordinary poison ivy that unfortunately about a month ago we all found to varying degrees, and that was not fun. But I think we've got a lot of that under control, but we're still finding it popping up every now and then, especially on this big oak tree right by what I've been working. This one right here behind me. The yard was just in, I wouldn't say disrepair, but the maintenance required to keep up with something that had as much going on as this house did when the original owners lived here. I just don't think the most recent owners had that. And so they had that drive, or that necessarily wasn't a priority for them. So, this is just part of it. We're making good progress, but hopefully we'll keep everything going. So I'll fill you in with the rest of the bricks here in just a minute. Well, I thought I was done with the bricks, and then I found a little bit more. See those right there? If you look at my shadow, right where my shadow is pointing, I feel a little bit like being an archaeologist, which I had a really cool opportunity in 2005 to take an Old Testament survey class with a legitimate archaeologist, a guy who worked at Harding, where I get to teach now. He is retired now, but worked as the field director for the excavations at Tel Bet Shemesh with a couple of guys from Tel Aviv University, the venerable Dr. Dale Manor, and then got to go dig with him in 2006 for a couple of weeks at the excavation. So this kind of takes me back to doing a little bit of archaeology. Problem is we're not finding cool stuff from Iron Age 2. We're finding bricks that were left here maybe 7 or 8 years ago. As my son said, boring stuff. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's over here in the corner. There he is. All right, I think this is our last load of bricks, and we are going to call it a day for that. So that area looks a whole lot better. Might see some wildlife around here, but we're going to call it a day with that, and we appreciate you guys watching.